I'm sorry, guys, I'm out of time. But take care, okay? Live your lives to the fullest, and I'll see you again when you're done. Goodbye!
On March 8th, 2024, the entire world seemingly stood still following the announcement of Dragon Ball creator Akira Toriyama's passing. Now, one thing Toriyama's passing solidified is his undeniable influence on pop culture as a whole. In the years since he first published his smash hit gag manga, Dr. Slump, Toriyama's illustrious body of work has permeated into the world of professional wrestling, American cartoons, and Hollywood blockbuster films. In the wake of the legendary manga author's death, creators from around the world, like the world-renowned creators of Bleach, Naruto, and One Piece, and the up-and-coming mangaka alike, mourned his passing and celebrated his pivotal influence on their works. Now, while the father of shonen's influence on anime and manga is a given, what's not often talked about is Toriyama's influence in the realm of video games. Yes, there are his famous character designs from formative video games like Dragon Quest, Chrono Trigger, and Blue Dragon, but beyond this, Toriyama's resume also served as an inspiration for some of video games' biggest series. Dragon Ball Z and Dr. Slump are linchpins to a multitude of homages that, over time, have taken a life of their own. Now, although Dr. Slump exists under the radar as a string of deep-cut references for anime old heads, Dragon Ball Z references are as recognizable as a crucifix in the wild. Now, these Dragon Ball Z references range from Street Fighter duo Ken and Ryu's Kamehameha-esque fireball attack, the Hadouken, Final Fantasy IX protagonist Zidane's Dragon Ball era Monkey Boy Goku design and Secret Origin, to Mega Man X6's villain High Max's wholesale-inspired everything. Now, that last homage would come full circle with the Dragon Ball Superhero movie, which saw Cell reborn as Cell Max. The most common way Dragon Ball Z's influence has had its influence permeated into video games is through a series of cheeky references and bold-faced homages to Toriyama's magnum opus.
It's over 9,000!
Now, by far, the most popular DBZ reference in gaming is the infamous Vegeta quote about Goku's power level being over 9,000. Now, while power level debates would fall by the wayside as the series progressed, this famous quote would find a new home in a myriad of video games as achievement-flavored text. Now, games like World of Warcraft, Ratchet & Clank, Size Matters, Devil May Cry 2, and even Red Dead Redemption reference the iconic Dragon Ball Z phrase. Aside from a series of offhand references that are still being perpetuated today with contemporary video games like Final Fantasy XVI and Overwatch 2, there are even more prominent Dragon Ball Z influences in video games that even its most ardent fans wouldn't think to notice. Chief among the deep-cut influences on video games not often acknowledged as being influenced by Dragon Ball Z's creator are Sonic the Hedgehog and Nintendo's red overall-wearing frontman, Mario.
Hey, what does this do?
Now, while Mario and Goku have nothing in common with one another, Mario's Tanuki suit form owes a lot to Toriyama's smash hit Arale from Dr. Slump. Now, in Super Mario Bros. 3, Tanuki suit Mario's cute little walk animation shares stark similarities to Arale's Tanuki-clad stride from Dr. Slump's anime opening. Now, in a recent resurfaced interview, Mario creator Shigeru Miyamoto confirmed the two character similarities, saying Arale's titular stride played a part in helping the team nail Mario's furry movements. Quote, "The area around his hips is a big joint that controls which way his body moves. We created all his movements from that point of origin. When he accelerates and inclines forward, when he turns and leans left or right, etc. So Mario sort of runs like Arale-chan with the correct sense of weight in the body." A Tanuki's suit, which would go on to appear in a slew of Mario games, also made a final act appearance in the Super Mario Bros. Movie, helping the New York plumber save Luigi and the Mushroom Kingdom from certain doom. Thank you, Arale-chan, indeed.
As long as we're together, everything is gonna be okay.
Now, this wouldn't be the only time Toriyama's creations inspired a gaming giant. In fact, Dr. Slump's anime opening, which shows Arale pop out between a red ribbon and a starred circle, inspired Sonic the Hedgehog's iconic title screen. Now, this parallel goes beyond coincidence when you take into consideration that the 8th chapter of The Brief Return of Dr. Slump, the 1994 sequel series supervised by Toriyama, sees a grown-up Arale outrunning Sonic the Hedgehog himself. Now, like much of the Blue Blur's lore, canon or otherwise, Toriyama's influence on Sonic is more than skin deep. Now, while Sonic fans have long posited the Blue Blur's Chaos Emeralds as a tongue-in-cheek reference to Dragon Ball Z's signature wish-granting orbs, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 designer Yasushi Yamaguchi came forward denying the parallel, saying the Chaos Emeralds weren't a Dragon Ball reference, but rather a mechanical means of upping the stakes in the sequel game by having players collect 7 Chaos Emeralds instead of 6. Now, that isn't to say DBZ's influence on Sonic stopped at its title screen. Now, it's far from it. If anything, Sonic owes much of its cool factor to, that's right, you guessed it, Dragon Ball Z. In a separate thread, Yamaguchi revealed Gohan and Piccolo's doting mentor-student relationship served as the basis for Sonic and Tails' friendship. Quote, "The relationship between these two characters in Sonic 2 was based on the image of Piccolo and Gohan. Therefore, without the work of Dragon Ball, the relationship between these two people that exists to this day would not have existed. Thank you so much, Toriyama-sensei." The Dragon Ball Z/Sonic rabbit hole goes deeper still. Now, aside from Super Sonic being a clear homage to the Dragon Ball Z's Super Saiyan forms, one of Sonic's time-traveling characters, Silver the Hedgehog, was directly inspired by Dragon Ball Z's Future Trunks. Like Future Trunks, Silver, who made his first appearance in Sonic the Hedgehog 2006, travels back in time from a post-apocalyptic world to help Sonic and his friends save their timeline from ruin.
Chaos Control!
Now, a former Sega writer revealed in no uncertain terms that he based Silver on Future Trunks during Sonic's 27th anniversary charity stream on YouTube. Now, just to further expound upon the fact that Dragon Ball Z's DNA can be found in every single nook and cranny of the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise, the longtime Japanese voice actor for Trunks also voiced Sonic in the 1993 Sega Sonic the Hedgehog video game. Now, Toriyama's influence on gaming is as apparent as it is emblematic of the manga pioneer's awe-inspiring grip on generations of creators from all walks of life and mediums. All that's left for the beloved mangaka to accomplish in his already illustrious rap sheet is to have his prediction that PlayStation 6's release would coincide with the release of Dragon Quest XIII. That's right, a prediction, mind you, that came from a throwaway gag in Sandland's first chapter from way back in 2000. It would only be fitting that Toriyama's early aughts gamer prediction come true, seeing as how Dragon Quest XIII will serve as his last contribution to the long-running RPG series.
This child, he is the one?
There's no mistaking it.
Only you can take that spark and kindle it to flame.